So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're able to catch this snippet into the world of A&A psychological accreditation. I am Dave Sleet. I am co-founder of APA, and I am joined by APA's CEO, Siobhan Crosby. Siobhan, thank you for joining us.
You're more than welcome.
I am really looking forward to this snippet, simply because I know how close it is to both of our hearts in the formation of APA. Why don't you talk us through it?
Okay, well, the APA Benevolent Fund is a fund that people can access that are members when they run into any kind of financial difficulty. We believe that this is important because I know what it's like to be attached to organisations that don't help you when you've got a really big problem. Now, a lot of people are aware of this, a lot of people might not be aware of this, but I do and am in remission with colon cancer. Now, I have a great practice. My practice has run since 2003, always done incredibly well. I'm very, very, very fortunate with that. But at the same time, colon cancer meant that overnight, I had literally lost all my finances. Being self-employed, we know what it's like. We can do really well, and suddenly we can get really, really ill, or another dynamic can happen, and we can't work. And actually, my private practice is my income. So I went from good money to nothing, and I do mean literally nothing. And there was nobody else there to support me either. I don't come from a wealthy background. There is no husband sitting shelving up the finances for me personally. I'm not saying that that's not great for other people. Good for them if they've got that, great. But when you haven't got that financial support, the impact is absolutely huge. And bearing in mind, we tend to work to how we live in relation to finances. So actually, I had loans, I had a great standard of living. Going the complete opposite overnight is really, really tough. So one of the things that I really wanted to recognise was my own journey, but also trying to make it easier for anybody else that ever goes through anything like that, and give them the opportunity to apply to APA and say, I've got a problem, can you help us out? Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to give millions, because we haven't got that. But it does mean that on some way, shape or form, we can assist. And that is very important to me personally.
Yeah. And the Benevolent Fund last year was supported through fundraising on a summer event, and this year we're really kind of focusing on the individual donations from members and businesses that understand that the support that they need can only be there if the people that provide the support are supported to be there. So, for those that provide the support, this is the support for them when they need it most. And if you were to kind of cast your mind back to the difference a benevolent fund would have had to you in those initial kind of moments of realization that the world had completely changed for you, what do you think that would have done?
Well, what it would have done in relation to my membership at the time, it would have made me feel important and significant. It would have made me feel, truthfully, just like I mattered. Because when you're paying into organisations and you're paying into them year after year after year, which is certainly what I did, to get to a place when that organisation they're actually not helping you. So you're giving away your finances all the time. But when it comes to an absolute disaster in your own life, there's no support, there's no appreciation. You literally become no more than giving your money to a pot that really it's filling somebody's pot, and it's not really doing anything for you. Whereas if it had been just recognised that I was going through something, as a member of any organisation, what's the point in having a membership, in my mind, if you don't support the members who are helping your company thrive, survive, change dynamics in the world of therapy, it's almost illogical and really quite cold, in my opinion. So for me, the impact would have been, I felt like my own membership would have been a place that I respected more, for them having a level of respect for everything that I've put into their organisation to keep their organisation going. Yeah. And it was a tough lesson to wake up and realise that actually, I've been shelving out £140, in between 140 and 150 every single year for 18 years. What did I get when I needed it? Nothing. And so irrespective of even a benevolent fund, even somebody just acknowledging, I remember writing in and asking for a discounted rate, even if a line had come back on a piece of paper that said, we sincerely wish you well in everything that you are going through. Something that said it was worth paying in for, just something, but nothing. No. So I want our members to feel appreciated, cared for, recognised for how they help us. We work as a team. It's not just about our members paying into us. It's about what do we give back for their value of us, their recognition of what we do. And I think every relationship, in fact, I don't think, I know, every relationship is two parties, whether or not it's an organisation, whether or not it's a client and a therapist, whether or not it's two peers. It's a relationship of two parties. If one does nothing to support the other, but the first one is doing everything to support the other, then you hit a tough time, you suddenly realise who your friends are. And it's an old way of saying something, but it actually is true, especially when it comes to really serious illness. You have the people, it almost echoes the impact of the illness itself, because I realised that there were certain people that couldn't handle it, so didn't want to talk to me. And unfortunately, that's hurtful at a time when you're really vulnerable. There's people that don't know what to say, but at least say to you that they don't know what to say. There's other people that, and thankfully I have a lot of professionals around me. So a lot of professionals were able to support me in the way that I truly needed, because they understood psychotherapy, they understood the mind. They weren't frightened of approaching me. But as a membership organisation, if we don't value our members, then I wouldn't want them coming on board to a place where they weren't valued. And a benevolent fund is one of the ways, just one of the ways, where we say, actually, if you've got a major problem and you run into financial difficulty in any way, shape or form, please let us know, because at the very least, we can support you in some way, shape or form, and we will do that.
And this is, you know, as you say, the Benevolent Fund is really the kind of tip of that iceberg in support. It's the bit that, you know, a lot of people can kind of see above the waterline, but there's massive amount of support below that waterline that goes on. But for anybody that is looking to have that support, it doesn't matter whether they're already dealing with something when they become a member, does it?
No, because we don't want to have an organisation that is so full of red tape that you don't know one end from the other. What we want is people to be ethical in their work, appreciate what they're doing, and if they run into a problem, simply know that as a member, we are there to support them. They support and give so much. And I own this. You know, I work full time as a counsellor. So I'm permanently giving of myself every now and then. And I know every human being feels this. There are times when we would just like somebody else to do a smidgen of what we give out. And that is my aim, to give something back.
And I truly believe APA has created that as a systemic, habitual part of its identity. It's in the DNA of the organisation, and it's one of the elements that I can hand on heart say I am truly proud that we've been able to create that as part of our DNA. It's not something that's been added on, because people have gone, oh, maybe you should do this, and maybe this will get more people to come to you. It's part of the DNA. It's not a coat that's been put on because it's raining. Siobhan, thank you.
Sorry, David, it's come from a place, like all amazing things do. It comes from a place of personal experience, personal understanding, and not wanting other people to feel like their membership fails them, and actually allow them to have a membership that they can attach to. They are as valued as the value that they place on that membership for themselves. That's what it comes down to.
Thank you so much. Once again, you put it so beautifully. I couldn't have done that justice in the way that you just did. So thank you so much. And for anybody out there, if you want to feel that support, then by all means, check out the membership guide on the website. See for yourself all of the documentation for membership, and all of our protocols are included in that guide. There is complete transparency, everything. No, nothing is hidden, and see for yourself what value you can take away from your APA membership. It's not just benefits, it's values too. But for now, take care, and we'll see you again in another snippet very, very soon.
Thank you.